It is the 12th race of the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season, and it is the first night race of the season as we're here at the Richmond International Raceway for some short track action in the Pontiac Excitement 400. I'm Joe Rakowski, alongside me, a driver who loves this Richmond racetrack. It's Trey Bardo. Trey, you've won here many times in your career, including your second ever victory of your Winston Cup Series career. What is it at a place like Richmond where it seems like the drivers that just know how to manhandle a car around these racetracks, they come out and they perform well at a track like this?
I mean, it's you just know what to expect when you come to places like this, and I mean, if you're able to, like you said, manhandle your car around it, you're gonna have the advantage. And some people just don't come, ready for a track like this. So, I mean, that's really the key point too, is that you got to be mentally and physically ready.
It's great to see at the front of the field this mix of teams that could possibly battle for the win here tonight at Richmond. We look at Jay Randall, Frantic Motorsports on pole for this race. Eli Bright for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated in second. Matt Wells for Gibbs in third. Kuklon for RCR. You have Roush. You have the Wood Brothers. You have Robert Yates Racing. You have Evernham Motorsports PPI back there. MB2 as well. So Trey, there is a wide variety of teams that are starting inside the top 15 or top 20 here tonight at Richmond. And with what we know at Richmond, you can start a little bit further back as long as you're on the inside row and make passes work. We've seen that in the past few seasons here. So do you think that something like that could happen again, or will it be someone who starts up towards the front getting to victory lane at Richmond?
You definitely have to think it's the bottom row part of it, but I mean, Joe, we know that we can't expect a certain winner to come out of it, even if you do start on pole, just because these guys are so unpredictable that we don't know what's going to happen. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, if I were to guess, it's going to be someone starting on this inside line.
And one team we have to watch for in particular is Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. They've been strong as of late. Eli Bright knocking off their first win of the season at the Texas World Speedway just a few races ago. Lathan Strickland backing it up just last race with his first win of the season at his home track of Talladega. Now you have two DI cars starting inside the top 10 with Eli Bright in second, Anthony Hernandez in ninth. Lathan Strickland a little bit further back just outside the top 20, but on the inside row in the number 15. But Trey, let's talk about, of those three DI drivers, let's talk about Anthony Hernandez in the number 1 car, because if you remember, entering into Las Vegas, he was outside the top 35 in points, had to qualify his way in on speed in Vegas, and then he got a 6th place finish. After that, his finishes from that 6th place, 5th, 6th, 6th, 5th, and 3rd. He has been the most consistent driver, Trey, over these last 6 races. He's moved from outside the top 35 in points, needing to qualify his way in, to now 9th in points. So Trey, is this a driver, is this a team that could make a surprise championship run in this 2002 season?
I mean, they're definitely making it look like they are, but you just can't let it fizzle out too soon. You know what I mean? So hopefully this one team can continue it here tonight and on to the rest of the season. But I mean, Joe, that last couple of races, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible to see the consistency that Hernandez has had, and once again, he has a good starting spot here in 9th place. We'll see if he can try and continue that momentum and get another top 6 result here for the 7th straight race in this 2002 season. His teammate Eli Bright with a throwback to his father's 1987 paint scheme that he drove to a championship. So Eli and Jeff has had a lot of success here at Richmond. Eli looking to replicate that success in a same paint scheme that his father has driven. And speaking of drivers near the front in points, let's watch for the top 5 in points once again here at Richmond, because it is oh so close between those front 5. Any of those 5 could still leave as the points leader. You have Sebastian Kukulon, who starts 4th, leading points by a single point over Keyshawn Richardson, who starts in 11th place. 3rd place, 45 points back, is Conrad Evans. He'll start in 7th. And then we go back to 4th and 5th. Justin Atkins had a terrible qualifying result. He'll start back in 41st, but then 5th in points, the very quiet Riley Sprayly-Tube. He's 115 points back, but he starts in 15th. He could have a shot at getting to the points lead after tonight's race at Richmond. So Trey, we have 5 drivers still in it with a shot, and also don't forget about 6th place Matthew Burnett, 7th place Eli Bright. They're starting well tonight as well.
Yeah, Joe, this is what we're liking so far, is that everyone's really close. And I mean, this is one of the closest battles at the beginning of the season that we've had in I don't know how long, because normally by this point there's already, 3 drivers that are kind of slowly separating themselves, but not in this case.
Now, in this case, we still have about 7, 8, 9 drivers that could possibly have a shot at this championship if things go their way. And unfortunately, it's not gone the way so far this season for last season's champion, Chris Jericho. He qualified on pole for this race, but unfortunately, his car failed post-qualifying inspection. He'll start back in 42nd. inspection and post-qualifying in general took another big swing when Jamie Stammer Jr., one of the open cars who qualified in 12th, had qualified his way in on speed. He failed inspection, so he dropped out of the field, and it put Benny Lynn in the 11 in. Well, unfortunately for Benny Lynn in the 11, he dropped out because he also failed post-qualifying inspection, and it led to Jacob Miller in the 57 making the show. And after all that was over, the officials still had to give an 8-place penalty to Samet Oskin after qualifying. So, Trey, I don't think I've ever seen a post-qualifying session that chaotic here on JRTV.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys were doing today, but it just seemed like everyone got caught for some sort of illegal part on their car. I mean, if you didn't get caught with it, I mean, if you still have one on it, we won't say anything about it. But I mean, it just seemed like everyone was testing. Well, we'll say they're testing new parts.
Yeah, we'll say that for sure. But unfortunately for Jericho, he'll have to start back in the 42nd final position. We'll see if he can try and recover. And unfortunately for Stanworth and Benny Lynn both, they are not in this 4-2 car field. They are one of the 3 drivers that went home along with Anderson Reed in the number 14. Let's take a look at our Ford Fast Facts here for the Richmond International Raceway. Clear skies here tonight, 66 degrees and 3 miles an hour wind in the west direction. It's an 80-lap race and 60 miles in length. The fuel window 50 to 60 laps. We saw fuel come into play the last time we were here at Richmond, where Brett Seaver ran dry coming to the white flag, and Lathan Strickland ended up in victory lane, so watch for that fuel if yellows come out. This track is 3/4 of a mile in length, 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 8 degrees on the front stretch, and 2 degrees on the back straight. The track opened in 1946, and held its first race in the Winston Cup Series in 1981. Ford won this race last season with Keyshawn Richardson. Richardson starts in 11th and comes in second in points, 1 point back of the points lead. And the second of Trey Bardo's 66 career victories came right here at Richmond in 1981. We'll see if another driver can try and get their maiden win or one of their first wins of their careers, as we're about to get the command to fire the engines for the Pontiac Excitement 400 here at Richmond.
Drivers, start your engines!
42 cars fire up for the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond Trail. Let's go back to the second row. In third place, Mathis Wells, one of the lone Pontiacs in the field, the lone Pontiac at the front of the field to start. Can he try and get victory for his car manufacturer here at Richmond in the race sponsored by Pontiac?
It would be a nice revenge for, like we said, what happened in inspection for his teammate. But Joe, I mean, it definitely looks like he's up. He's on the inside line. He's second row. It's definitely in the right spot to do it.
Well, we'll have to see after 80 laps who gets it done. Jay Reynolds looked fast all weekend long. Fast in practice, fast in qualifying. Is on pole for the Pontiac Excitement 400. Eli Bright, who's outside. The green flag is waving in the wind, and we're underway from Richmond. Already the points there put top of 3 wide. It was Jack Carter for the Wood Brothers forcing him up top as they battle off turn number 4. Jay Reynolds for pole leads the first lap. Kukulon in line but has lost many spots. And it's 3 cars to breakaway. Rando, Wells, and Burnett 1, 2, 3 as they race through 1 and 2.
You know where all 3 of those guys started, Joe?
Yeah, they all start inside right there. So as you mentioned, the inside lane definitely the place to be, especially on the starts and restarts. We'll have to see who can make the most of it. Mathis Wells trying to make the most of it off of 4. Right to the back of Jay Rando. And around goes Eli Bright. Off of Evans and up into Sebastian Kukulon and Riley's Pearly Tube. Evan Hunter as well.
He must have gotten turned or something.
It looked like it might have been off of Conrad Evans.
Oh, he's still struggling with that car.
Now everyone trying to sort out here. The yellow is out. Hopefully the leaders can slow it down as they race back side by side. It was Rando and Wells. Rando back in front, and Trey, this is...
He did a really nice job of missing that.
This is a mess of cars that the officials have to try to sort out here.
Yeah, it's, well, the pace car's right there, so we'll pick up Wells.
And Rando will get the spot back.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it Rando?
Yeah, they raced back side by side. It was Rando on the outside to get back in front. Watch out there. Justin Atkins and Roger Reyes. Mathis Wells. I don't know why he's trying to move down to the bottom there. There's Rando. Got his spot back. Now he has to catch up to the pace car and let the 26 by as well.
It looks like we're still racing.
Yeah, Jose Mills is trying to get back. Jordan Stout was also back there. He's trying to get back, but I think Stout might be the last one to have to get by here. So I think that everyone did a really good job. Yeah, everyone did a really good job trying to get back around and making this work all right.
Yeah, that helps the officials, if anything. But what a quick start to this.
Yeah, what a chaotic start so far. Eli Bright was running inside the top 5, and you think about this, that was 3 of the front 7 in points involved in that. Eli Bright, who came in 7th in points, Riley Sprinter, who came in 5th, and then that man sitting on pit road, Kukulon, came in as the points leader, 1 point up on Keyshawn Richardson. They're going to get the 28 back out. They're going to get the 29 back out as well, but chaos for some of the front runners in the points, as it looks like Eli Bright gets spun by Conrad Evans. We'll go check out what happened in the first yellow flag here in the Pontiac Excitement 400. Well, Trey, here's 2 drivers battling hard for position 4th place early on, and right here as they come off the corner, we saw ahead Wells and Randall make contact. The same thing happens with Eli Bright and Conrad Evans, but unlike with what happened with Wells and Rando, Wells had lifted for Rando, Evans did not lift for Eli Bright, and the 8 gets spun around.
Yeah, that's a questionable move by Evans there.
Well, what it did was take out his teammate and the points leader, and then Riley Sprinter as well. So 3 drivers are up there in points. Evan Hunter got a lot of damage on the 36 as well. Tough break there. Lathan Strickland got some contact. Laura Chung up against the outside got hit by Noah Clifton in the 32. So 3 cars with major damage. The 36, the 9, the 32, the 15 are going to have slight damage. But Trey, what a chaotic start. What heartbreak for Eli Bright after such a good qualifying result. You know, qualifying 3rd, starting 2nd. And it looks like his night might have ended just as fast as it started, basically.
Oh, he lost it again under there. I mean, that car is all junked up. But yeah, it'll be interesting to hear from each side of that to see what their thought process was. But I mean, Joe, from our point of view, it just looked like Evans just dumped them.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality, I think, of the situation. As we'll go take a look at this wreck one more time at full speed, just show how fast everything occurred here at Richmond. Here's one more view as Eli Bright comes off 4. And yeah, it looks
it's
like
pretty
31.
Blatant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty blatant. It almost got all 3 DEI guys involved in that. Did you see that? Hernandez
barely scraped around the outside, and I mean, oh man.
Oh,
jeez. If Eli Bright stays in this race and is slow enough to where the 31 comes around a lap, I would not want to be in that 31 car, because I'm sure Eli is not the happiest in that number. I mean, with how Eli took off from the crash scene, I don't think he's happy at all.
No, I don't think he is. And if he is on the track still and he does catch that 31, I think NASCAR is going to be all over that, watching them like a hawk.
I think so.
But
look at this mess we had to sort out under the caution flag. Luckily, everyone did, and Jay Brando has led every lap so far from pole position, and he's going to lead us back to the green flag here in the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond. Coming around under the caution flag to complete the 8th lap, and that's when we'll get our first restart of the night. All 42 cars are still running, including the 3 that got major contact in that pileup. It's Jay Brendel, the pole sitter, out in front of this race. Mathis Wells in 2nd, Matthew Burnett in 3rd, Conrad Evans is 4th, 5th place for Keyshawn Richardson. Then you have Luke Rennie in 6th. Jack Carter is still in 7th. Seidel up to 8th. Hernandez right where he started in 9th. And Mitchell Collins up to 10th. There's Eli Bright. He's still in 12th with Evan Hunter in 11th. They both have some pretty good damage. We'll have to see if the cars get going. And if they don't, who do they hold up on this restart? The pace car is about to come down pit road. And it's leaving the field in the hands of Jay Reynolds, looking for Hendrick's first win on the 2002 season. But Mathis Wells looking for his first of the season at Richmond as they come off turn number 4 to see the green flag. And Mathis Wells, what a rocket of a jump right into the back of Jay Brando into turn 1.
We'll see if these guys can keep it cleaner this time around, but I'll be interested to see. Didn't really force the 48 up. The 48 just missed his entry with the 20 getting beneath him here, and I think this is going to be well spot.
Mathis Wells clears Jay Brando into turn number 3, and Wells leads for Joe Gibbs Racing in Pontiac at Richmond. Matthew Burnett trying to get to 2nd off of Jay Brando. Side by side, here comes his teammate Keyshawn Richardson, 3 wide, putting Evans into the middle, into turn 1.
I don't know if there's going to be any contact here. It's pretty clean so far. I'm impressed.
Anthony Hernandez coming like a bull in a china shop to the front of the field, putting Luke Rainey to the middle. Randall still up top, the 1 going for a top 5 here as he's trying to follow Conrad Evans and Keyshawn Richardson up through the mess. And give a shout out to Jack Carter, who started inside the top 10 and still running inside the top 10. That number 21 is now going to pass 2 cars and one pass right there as he gets by both Brando and Luke Rainey and Trey. Eli Bright still going in that number 8, going strong. He just passed Justin Seidel and Evan Hunter on the bottom lane.
Yeah, he's driving off anger right now.
Yeah, I think he's willing that car to try and get up to. I think he sees that 31 up there, and he's hoping that 31 comes back to him because I can assure you there would be some contact if they get near each other again.
That'll be very interesting to watch, and I hope if they do ever see each other, our cameras are going to be on it because I'm going to witness every second of that.
Yeah, I think the JRTV producers are going to tell the cameramen, all right, you have to keep a camera on the 31 or the 8 at all times, please.
Yes, I will. I'll make sure to pay whoever that cameraman is if he can get the money shot.
Well, he's back up inside the top 10 to 8th place as the yellow's out again. We have our second caution flag, and I don't really know where it happened, Trey, but it looks like there was some issues.
Oh!
And there's more issues.
That looked deliberate. That was
Teague into Nathan Baird under the caution flag.
That was
Are these drivers all right tonight, Trey?
Well, Joe, you did say this is the time to get your anger out.
Yeah, I mean, it's short track under the lights, so we've come around to complete 14 laps of the line. They would still be short on fuel from here, so I don't see anyone taking the dive to pit road.
Nope. No.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's coming in, Joe.
No, I think everyone is designed to stay calm, stay on the racetrack, and see where it goes from there. But the yellow is out for the second time at Richmond on lap number 15. We'll go check out what happened, and it looks like it might have been another spin down the front stretch. Well, Trey, the second incident coming off turn number 4, and it's about the same story. Lathan Strickland right to the back of Colin Teague and does not lift off that number 49 BAM Racing Dodge and spins right into the middle of the pack.
They did a nice job of not hitting anything.
Yeah, Atkins and Baird did a really good job splitting that car basically 4 wide. And right here, I don't know what happened here entering 3, but he slams Nathan Baird in this number 22. Look at that. He turned up into him.
NASCAR's not going to be happy about that.
No, if we saw what they did to
That's
Cement
2 weeks in a
Osgood-
row. Yeah.
So Cement Osgood, after the Talladega incident, got an 8th-place qualifying penalty for his incident with this man Matthew Burnett under the caution, and I'm not
Apparently
so
it didn't
sure if
really
that's,
affect the 49.
I was about to say, I'm not so sure if that's not going to happen again to Colin Teague here after tonight's race.
Wow, these guys are they took their Wheaties or something today because they are not very happy and they're feeling strong apparently.
I think so. It's Mathis Wells feeling strong right now. He's out in front at Richmond. Lap number 19 is when we'll take this restart. Mathis Wells now the control car for it. He has 2 Roush cars bearing down on him. Still already all 42 cars left running. At the back is our points there. Special Kuklan and Riley Sprue to 5th in the points. Oskin is back there. Jordan Stout still back there. Chris Jericho, who got the pole but failed inspection, has only worked his way up to 33rd. Atkins from 41st is up to 30th. As at the front, Mathis Wells, Matthew Burnett, Keyshawn Richardson, Conrad Evans, and Anthony Hernandez are the front 5. They have Luke Rainey, Mitchell Collins, Eli Bright, Jack Carter, and Justin Seidel, the front 10. We'll see how this restart goes. Will it be any calmer than the last 2, or will it be just as crazy? We're going to find out as they come off 4. Wells steps on the gas, and the green flag is back, waving Matthew Burnett with a good jump and stays right with Wells into turn number 1.
Is he going to make the same move Wells put on Rando? It looks like he might be trying to, but he can't get that 17 underneath him.
Didn't have the grip off the corner. Matthew Burnett stays in line in second, but stays right with Wells into turns 3 and 4 as they battle off 4, trying to get the grip down. Back there, another yellow is out as they've crashed, and it's Sarah Kirchner into the corner, into turn 3.
Who did it this time?
I have no
Fitzwater's down.
And Atkins.
This might be a little bit... I think I saw the 7-2 have quite a bit of damage on the front end. This might have been a bigger incident than we're thinking.
So that's the 3rd yellow. This puts the drivers, once again, this is kind of like what we saw last season in the fall race, right on the edge of the fuel window. So does anyone dare come down now and try to do it? Mathis Wells is saying, dear God, no. And it looks like most of the other drivers are saying, dear God, no, I don't want to save fuel again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the smart play, though, in all honesty.
Well, it bit Brett Sierra last season, but he's going to try this. If no one else is doing it in front of you, might as well try something, right?
Second time's the charm.
Jordan Stout's coming in. There's Mills. You'd mentioned a lot of damage on the 7.
Damage on the front end of that.
And then coming in. His poor starting spot. He's figuring, I have to maybe do something here. I guess a good call by the 18, the 6, and 25. Some fast cars that are just mired back in traffic.
Yeah, I mean, that's you might as well take a swing, right? You got nothing to lose at this point, and if the yellows keep coming, I mean, I don't know what to say, but we'll have to see if it works out for these guys.
Yeah, even if we get a yellow in the middle of green flag pit cycles, right? Because those drivers, if we start getting a long green flag run, they're going to have to pit under green, and then if a yellow comes out while they pit, they'll be trapped laps down, and those three could be the leaders. We'll have to see if it works out for them, but Matheus Wells still leads. We'll see what happens. Sarah Kirchner around into turn number 3 here at Richmond. So Trey, Sarah Kirchner with a good restart gets the inside of Chris Jericho and Hunter Reed, but as she comes off the corner, she may think she's clear, but she's not clear. The 18 hits, and right here, Jericho's nowhere to go. Reed's up against the wall, and it's on from there. Sarah Kirchner kind of just spun herself off the nose of the 18 right there, and she's going to get hit by Jose Mills into turn 3 right here.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder what her spotter was saying, because that was pretty blatant 3 wide on the bottom right there, don't you think?
It looked pretty blatant from our camera angle, and you have to assume the spotters have a better angle of that as well. So
they're up top, and it's a flat track. I don't know. Well, but yeah, she now has a damaged up race car that's going to cost some money. So, Joe, there's something about this race that's not making any sense.
Yeah, it's been crazy so far. We'll go take a look at this wreck one more time at full speed. One more view off turn number 2. The squeeze for Jericho and Reed, and Sarah Kirchner goes around. Would like to point out, too, as well, Trey, that on this restart, Justin Atkins and Fitzwater came down pit road. That's because they had a black flag for passing to the inside before the start-finish line. You can only pass to the outside and restart before the start-finish line. The 30 of the 2 got busted for going to the inside too soon.
At least those 2 got down on, like, who was it? Was it Stamworth?
Yeah, Stamworth at Martinsville.
Yeah, but they got good. And then, I mean, they might as well take the pit, too, while they're down there.
Yeah, might as well. Maybe you could make it from field. If you stand the lead lap, it's actually a pretty good gain for that number 30 and the number 2 of Fitzwater, but it's a Pontiac leading the Pontiac Excitement 400. Matheus Wells is in control, but he has Matthew Burnett, Keyshawn Richardson bearing down on him for this next restart of the night here in Richmond. Here we come back to the green flag for Matheus Wells in the number 20. All 42 cars are still left running. Jose Mills with all that damage to the repair, he's back out. Atkins and Fitzwater, 2 of the last cars on the lead lap from the penalties. But watch for drivers like Brett Seaver, Jordan Stout, Chris Jericho. They came down pit road. If we get a long green flag run, or even if we get another yellow flag, they could cycle out to the front of the field. Let's see if that strategy can work out for those 3 at the back of the field. So we have Matheus Wells in control in the number 20. Matthew Burnett, Keyshawn Richardson 2nd and 3rd. Conrad Evans still in 4th, and Hernandez still in 5th. You have Luke Rainey 6th, Collins 7th, Eli Bright 8th, Zidell's now up to 9th, and Jack Carter back to 10th in the number 21. Will it stay green? Will we get our 4th yellow of the night? We're going to find out. Matheus Wells is in control for the restart. He gets a nice jump, and Keyshawn Richardson spins the tires from 3rd place. He'll have his hands full with Evans and Hernandez off into turn number 1.
Well, Joe, how long do you think this one's going to last?
I hope we can go a little bit longer here, Trey, as we have a battle for 3rd. Hernandez all over the back of Evans, who's to the inside of Keyshawn Richardson, down the back into turns 3 and 4. Evans dives into the bottom, very deep into the corner, and is going to make the pass stick off 4. Evans up to 3rd. Hernandez going for 4th, and up front, Burnett pushing Wells into turn number 1, going for the lead himself.
Maybe no contact yet.
Ooh.
He's right onto him, though.
He was right on the back to birth that number 20. Now the battle for 4th. Anthony Hernandez trying to move back up towards the front on. Keyshawn Richardson gets the pass to be made. Mitchell Collins going for 5th. Here comes Burnett looking low again on Matheus Wells, but can't make it stick to the bottom. But he's still looking into turn 1. Does he have a nose to the inside of the number 20 car?
He's going to try to get there, but I think Wells is going to get the run. He does, so he cleared himself yet again. I mean, that's a close battle going on right for the lead.
And how about Mitchell Collins now moving up to 4th by Anthony Hernandez. Luke Rainey looking for a top 5 spot. Going for 5th on Hernandez. Right now the 88 is in 6th. He'll get in line in that spot. Burnett still hunting down Matheus Wells into turn number 1. And I think, Trey, you talked about Eli Bright driving with anger here at Richmond as Jose Mills comes off pit road the number 7.
This is nice.
Yeah, that's, I don't know if he can really see on that number 7 car. The hood is bowed up and he's coming back in, thankfully.
Yeah, that's, it was an interesting play here, but that allowed the 17, I think, to get to below Wells.
Yeah, he got a great run off turn number 4, gets to the inside. Matthew Burnett is now trying to clear Wells. He'll stay battling door-to-door off into turn number 3. He has the preferred lane into turn 3, dives it in deep, and Matthew Burnett is the new race leader here at Richmond. You think about last week, Trey, when he got wrecked under the caution flag by Samet Oskin. Oskin got given an 8th-place qualifying penalty. Well, Burnett definitely was not too happy after that because it dropped him out of the running for the points lead. And you know, it was after the races. his team owner, Ross McTrain, said, well, Burnett got penalized back a few years ago for that same thing, so I really hope the 26 gets penalized. And, you know, when you look back at the 2000 World 600, it was Matthew Burnett that got an 8th-place qualifying penalty for causing a crash under yellow. And speaking of yellow, we have 2 cars that were already involved in yellows that are involved in this one. Sebastian Kukelon, our points leader, and Sarah Kirchner, the number 40.
Woo! Fitzy went flying in there.
And racing back around to complete the 31st lap, Matthew Burnett with the lead, Mathis Wells in second, and Trey, this is now in the fuel window for these drivers, so they'll definitely come down pit road. The big question, what do the 6, the 25, the 18, the 30, and the 2 do?
Stay out.
Yeah, you have to think at this point you have to try that
cautions are
gamble.
helping, right?
Yeah, the cautions should only be helping the fuel mileage of those cars, but yeah, these guys should definitely be coming in right here.
17's on the apron. The other ones aren't quite yet. Here they come.
Yeah, so here they should all
Does
come
anyone
down.
stay out?
Yeah, we'll have to see if anyone dares stay out on the racetrack for track position, and you know, especially with those back markers that we had mentioned that had been maybe saving some fuel. Jose Mills was a few laps down, so he's staying out on the racetrack on that number 7. He'll come in when the lap down cars can. We're looking towards the back of the field to see what those big stouts coming in. Jericho is as well. Brett Sierra stayed out, Atkins, and Fitzwater. They're going to be 1, 2, 3, it looks like.
So, Joe, you called it. They are going to stay out here, and we'll have to see if that's going to be able to be the best play right there. And like we said, I mean, if the cautions keep coming, it honestly could only help those guys.
So stop for Mathis Wells. He'll lose spots on pit road. A few cars past him. We have damaged cars coming in, and what I saw, the 18, the 6 dude, they took 2 tires there trying to gain some track position that way.
Interesting. So there's a lot of different strategies going on right now.
Yes,
this is a mess coming off of pit road.
We have 4 tires. We have 3 cars that stayed out. We have drivers on 2 tires, but at the front tray, the guys who stayed out are going to be leading the way with Brett Sierra out in front. We'll go see what happened, though. The 4th yellow is out. Sarah Kirchner and Sebastian Kukelon have crashed for the 2nd time tonight here at Richmond. Trey, I think these drivers are very angry tonight because Jordan Stout coming off the corner just never lets up on Sarah Kirchner, spinning her around into the inside wall, and unfortunately for Kirchner, once she hits the wall, the ride is still not over, though.
Oh.
That's a hard hit, driver's side.
Look how close she is to hitting this. Just misses it, Joe. If anything, grazed it.
And right there, she hits off that wall and then comes right
Yeah,
up.
but this is not good.
Poor old points there, especially Kukelon. His bad night has gotten even worse as he slams the outside concrete with Sarah Kirchner. So those 2 involved, Trey, and look at this Mr. Brett Sierra. He's the current race leader.
You see how far that wheel was turned to the right?
Yeah, he's still trying to save that car.
Still trying to save it. And then Justin behind him following his route too.
Yeah, following suit. And then Fitzwater also had to come through here. Here's a good ways back, but he luckily was able to get through in a good way. We'll go take a look at this wreck one more time. Kukelon and Kirchner crashed in turns 3 and 4. And one more view is Stout spins Kirchner around into the inside concrete, and still not over as Kirchner comes off. No yellow will come, but right there, yellow will come now because she gets up into Kukelon, and both those cars are junk in turn 3.
Yeah, she just doesn't have a lot of time to really slow that car down, and that's just bad placement and bad timing, and Kukelon is in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not much you can really do to avoid that except not start the wreck in the first place, I guess.
I guess so, but Matthew Burnett came into pit road as the leader, but a few cars played some strategy. Brett Sierra, Justin Atkins, and Zach Fitzwater Sr. inherit track position by staying on the racetrack. We'll see if they can make it to the end on fuel and tires. So a little bit of a development here at Richmond. Scoring error, and Brett Sierra, Justin Atkins, and Zach Fitzwater Sr. They're actually tail end of the lead lap here. They're not going to be 1, 2, 3. They're trying to stay on the lead lap right now. They're trying to stay ahead of those drivers behind.
This just got interesting. Well, you definitely think the 30 is going to slow up a little bit and help the 31. And then everyone else is on their own.
Well, Fitzwater has his teammate, Mitchell Collins, right there to worry about as well, so watch for that to see if that comes into play. But we have Matthew Burnett out in front. Conrad Evans looked like he was the fastest car on the racetrack that last run. He's in second. Mitchell Collins is third. Hernandez is fourth. Mathis Wells is back to fifth. They have Luke Rennie sixth. Keyshawn Richardson back in seventh. Zeidel is eighth. Tim Gary ninth. And Nolan Lawrence up inside the top 10. Eli Bryce 11th. How about Nathan Stimson 12th? Laura Chung 13th. Brandon LaPolsitter in 14th. And 15th for that number 66 of Nathan Ormond. We'll see how these lap cars do because they're not technically that slow, Trey. We'll see how they get going on this restart. Pretty good. Those 3 get away, and Evans is all over Burnett into turn 1 for the lead.
So who controlled the restart there? Was it Brett?
Yeah.
Or was it the flagman?
The leader of the line controls the restart. As here we go for the lead.
Wow, Sierra was really tall up there.
Oh, 3 wide.
Oh,
Hernandez
what a move!
jumps to the inside of the number 1. He's looking for his first ever win. They're almost 4 wide behind, but Anthony Hernandez clears and leads at Richmond. Evans back to second. Wells going for third in the number 20. Matthew Burnett backing up on the outside with nowhere to go.
What a move that was by the one.
He dropped to the inside and just drove it in deep and made it stick. Luke Rainey falling back 3 wide. He's dropping positions at a time. Stapleton, Lawrence, Randall, all by him in just that one corner. Here comes Roberto Crown Jr. and Keegan Thompson as well. As this pack steams down towards turn 1, Hernandez pulling away as Fitzwater, Sierra, and Atkins, the guys on the tail end of the lead out just in front of him. Hernandez loose off turn 2.
So, I mean, if we can... Oh, my goodness, Fitzy.
Hernandez is driving very aggressive here in that number 1, and look at Evans is catching up now because those two stalled in front. Here goes Mathis Wells with a nice run to turn 1.
This is, and look who's sneaking in the back in 4th place here. It's Richardson slowly coming into this.
Yeah, remember, he was second in points, 1 point back in the points lead from Kukulon. At the moment, he's definitely getting the points required to pass that number 29, but Conrad Evans is still in play with them as well in terms of points. Behind them, Mitchell Collins and Matthew Burnett trying to sort it out. Jay Randall coming back to the front. He had dropped back to 48, now back alive. Zidell trying to break his way back up further inside the top 10. Eli Bright slipping back. That number 8 definitely not handling well, but he's trying to, it's still pretty fast, but I think the handling with the whole rear end being scrunched is probably not the best right now.
He's definitely doing a lot better than I thought he would in that car. Oh, watch this 43 here. Oh, my goodness. I thought they were going to make contact coming off.
Look at Lathan Strickland. He had a nice run up under that. He's going, where do I go now? That number 15. Luke Rain trying to get a lot of spots back as these drivers all trying to get their way up inside the top 10 for possibly the first one. Like Roberto Crown Jr. up inside the top 10. How about some drivers moving to the front like Brandon Beal, Chris Jericho, who failed inspection, and Jack Haas moving up nice again by the Evernham cars right here in the number 77.
I don't know what happened, but it seems like everything got shaken up here.
Yeah, it's very crazy. Nolan Clifton on pair with the 32. He has damages. Here's Jericho trying to pass Eli Brent, the number 8, and then Brandon Bill, the 41. So Trey, Jericho could move up to as high as 14th here. Remember, he has 2 tires on that car. Looks like it was a pretty good gain for him.
Yeah, and I mean, especially after we know he has a fast, well, possibly a fast car. It depends on what they took it off. But we know that he's at least good in traffic and stuff like this just from his past in the last season. So we'll have to see how far up he can get.
Ooh, Matthew Burnett kind of missed the bottom of 3. Luckily, Collins gave him room. But here come the Hendrick cars of Randall and Zidell to try and get some passes in. But, you know, the ironic thing is Fitzwater right here is a lap down car, racing with lead lap cars. And what has he said about lap cars in the past, Trey?
He Bracken hates them.
Yeah, so what's this about? He's racing them right now.
A little bit of hypocrisy, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, Matthew Burnett right there, he was getting a little testy with him. Now Brando is going 3 wide, and I think Burnett's going to lose his spot because of that. Or 2 or 3.
Yeah, there might be a lot of people mad at Fitzy.
Here comes Noah Clifton off pit road, that number 32. They're trying to repair that car as best they can. Randall's still trying to pass Matthew Burnett. Justin Zidell looking lower. Here comes Collins, Fitzwater's teammate, trying to get around as Randall gets by Burnett. Zidell gets by Burnett. So the Hendrick cars moving up nicely. They're up to 5th and 6th right now here, Trey. So 2 of their cars running pretty well. Brett Sierra is up here, lap down, in between the leader of Hernandez and the 20 of Wells.
Oh, Richardson almost ran to the back of the 7.
Do you think they're ever going to do anything with the 7 car, or is that just a moot point at this stage?
I don't know if they're trying to fix it or trying to comply with NASCAR at this point.
Yeah.
Same thing with Clifton, it looks like.
Yeah, those are interesting moves from 2 of the smaller teams. Obviously, they don't have the budget right here. This could get, my!
No!
Luke Rainey, I don't think he knew what was happening right there.
That could have been bad.
It could have been awful. That could have been 4 cars into the outside concrete right there.
That would not have... Uh-oh. We're coming up on the 7 again, but we're going to pass him, I think. Maybe not.
Well, at least they're going to be, just single or double file, which is a lot better than them going in 3 or 4 wide.
I'm surprised NASCAR hasn't parked them yet.
Yeah, I'm shocked too, but I don't know if they want to encroach on the smaller teams that much.
Yeah,
but I mean,
we won't question NASCAR's tactics, I guess.
Well, we have 30 laps to go at the lineup. Richmond. Anthony Hernandez is pulling away in the number 1. He's been saying, it's only a matter of time until I get my first one with how well I've been running. That's why he even said, at Talladega, he could have been a lot more aggressive going for the win himself, but he didn't want to do it to where his teammate Lathan Strickland if one of them didn't win the race. He didn't want to go and be like, I'm going to push Keegan up by Latham, then pass Keegan myself. He wanted at least one of the DEI cars when he said, you know what, I've been running so well, I'm going to get a win soon anyway. But right now, he's out front with under 30 to go at Richmond, trying to get DEI's second on the season and second straight at Richmond.
I think that's called a team player right there, Joe.
That is. Could we possibly have our third DEI car in victory lane this season? Tune in, after about 28 or so laps, we're going to find out. The battle for second place, Keyshawn Richardson getting by Matt as well. So Richardson currently would leave as the points leader and trying to extend that gap a little bit, trying to get some more spots in between he and the drivers like Evans and Kukulon that are further back.
I think we finally settled it out, and there's no hard contact anymore.
Yeah, thankfully we've kind of spread this field out, and we can now have some battles, but very clean battles that won't be, wrecking a bunch of race cars.
Because I don't even think there's considered a pack now anymore.
No, it's just kind of a bunch of spread out, but this could be a good battle right here. Jay Rando, remember, he got by Matthew Burnett, and he's now gaining up onto Comrade Evans, number 31, so this could be a battle for fourth place here shortly. Rando going after that number 31, and right behind him is Rando's teammate Justin Zeidel trying to get a good day as well, so there's a lot of varying, cars here as they move their way through the top 10, top 15.
And just so people know, that's not 3 HMS guys right next to each other all in the top 10. Sierra is a lap down.
Yes, Brett Sierra is a lap down, currently scored in the 38th position. Fitzwater lap down. Luke Rennie had to come down pit road, so he's now 2 laps down the 88. Tough right there because he was running pretty well. And then Keegan Thompson, the other Hendrick car, he's moved up decently from a starting spot, but currently back in 17th, just kind of stuck there. He has cars like Lathan Strickland, Jack Carter, Brandon Beal right in front of him they could try and pass, but Jack Haas is up to 11, so he's having a good run, and right behind him is last season's champion Chris Jericho in 12th place, and Nathan Stimpson inside the top 10. I think he loves these short track races, and we have obviously the Hendrick cars moved up, and they're right into the back here of Conrad Evans, who's trying to get by Brett Sierra, the lap car, and Sierra might be holding up 31 just to get that 48 in range.
Yeah, that's a little bit of team play, I guess you could say.
But Sierra moves aside. Now here's something that might be making Hernandez a little bit nervous, right? His gap got lost by 2/10 last lap, and he wasn't passing anyone. So he had clear racetrack. The 99 gained 2/10 that last lap. We'll see this lap if he didn't really gain anything. So the one may have just had a bad lap, maybe a little bit of a mistake, but we're going to hope that, the one can try and keep that race lead. But Richardson, we know how strong that 99 has been this season. Could he possibly try and steal one again?
I mean, he definitely can, but he has to get past that RCR 30, and we know that they're tough, and actually he might need to get past 2 RCR guys here in about a couple more laps, and we'll have to see if they play nice with each other or not, and as we see the 7 still making circuits around the track.
As the 1 moves to the inside to lap Sebastian Kukulon, so the 29 now lap down with his teammate Atkins. Atkins now sees a spot in front. That's his teammate Sebastian Kukulon with 20 laps to go. Keyshawn Richardson down to 1.1 seconds, but no further. Rando's up to 4th, getting by Conrad Evans, and now right into the back of Evans is Justin Zeidel and then Matthew Burnett as well. So the 31 dropping back here as we get into a long green flag run. The Hendrick car starting to come towards the front. Rando up to 4th. Zeidel going for a top 5 there in that number 24, and this could be a nice bounce back for both those drivers who are just looking for something to go their way in this season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that whole HMS organization, what happened with them?
Yeah, luckily it looks like 2 of them could be on the cards here for top 5 finishes. We'll have to see if that works out as Keyshawn Richardson gets by Sebastian Kukulon, but it cost him a lot of time, down to 1 3/4 second back of the one of Anthony Hernandez, who was our race leader. So Richardson, not a good moment in lap traffic with Sebastian Kukulon. It got Wells back on him, and also got Rando and Evans and Zeidel even closer to those 2 battling for second place.
So these guys should all be good to make it now, right?
They should be, definitely. They pitted with under 50 laps to go. The field window is easily 50 to 60 laps. So these drivers are fine. The only cars that are questionable are the guys on the
30, the 25, and the
2.
Yeah. All right. So that's good. So we don't got to worry about any surprise pit stops.
No, hopefully not. Unless there's an issue with the car, then there might be a surprise pit stop. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hopefully. Is that who I think I see in the 10th place there?
Yeah, Jack Haas, that number 77, just moved up as we have this mess of cars right here with Brando, Conrad Evans, and Zeidel battling for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Matthew Burnett 7th. Then you have 8th place Mitchell Collins, 9th place Tim Gary, and Jack Haas is right in the back bumper of that. So Haas could get to 9th here in a few laps.
He's ever since he came back, he's been running pretty decent. I mean, it's only been 2 races, but still.
And look, he got a nice run to Tim Gary right there as this battle for 9th is going on with Gary and Jack Haas going at it. Our Advanced Auto Parts question of the week from Talladega, we'd ask, what is the best of the Super Speedway racing? And the fans said that the best part of Super Speedway races were the upset winners tray.
Wow.
So people like the different winners at those Super Speedway races.
I mean, that's not bad.
You're just not happy they didn't agree with you this time.
Yeah, what's wrong with tag racing?
I don't know. They just like the winners better, but we're going 3 wide into 3 right here with Jericho on the inside trying to get a spot from Stapleton, move to 11th. This week's Advanced Auto Parts question of the week, we're at a short track at Richmond. So the question is, what is the best short track on the Winston Cup Series schedule? Is it Martinsville? Is it Richmond? Is it North Wilkesboro? Or is it
Gary getting turned? What a save!
And now he's going to try and pass Jack Haas back, or is it Bristol? Which of those 4?
Wait, what was the question again?
What's the best short track on the schedule? Is it Martinsville, Richmond, North Wilkesboro, or Bristol?
Bristol. Wow. All right, sorry, Joe. That was
Well, I mean, that was
a close call.
No!
Ooh.
These guys
What is going on with these two?
Leaning on each other. Tim Gary, Jack Haas, not the happiest in this battle for 9th place.
Wow.
They're still side by side at 1.
Yeah, that almost turned ugly.
Can
a couple
Haas
of times.
Can Gary get down? I mean, look at this. They're still door to door into 3. No one getting the advantage for 9th place, and all this is doing, here comes Chris Jericho and Nolan Lawrence to maybe make it a 4-car race for 9th.
Don't count out Stapleton there. He's not that far back from those two either.
That's true. We could have 5 cars. Look, they're still side by side, Trey. This is great stuff at Richmond.
Is Tibbs finally going to send it? No, he's not.
Look at Haas.
They're still going to be side by side.
He powers off the corner. Here comes Jericho. Where does he go in this number 18?
Forced to 3 wide down the bottom.
He's looking. Look at that.
Oh, not quite yet. It might help Tim, though.
We'll see Jack Haas still hanging tough on the outside, still door to door for 9th place down the back into turns 3 and 4. Hernandez leads by 2.5 seconds with 8 laps to go. That's why we're focusing on this. Now it's 2.7 seconds. Gary and Haas side by side for 9th, bringing Jericho, Lawrence, and Stapleton right into the battle as well. Racing into 1, still door to door for this 9th position. Who will come out on top is the question.
I don't know, but this is intriguing to watch. I don't know how they're still staying inside. This is what, like lap 6 in a row?
6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, I don't know, but these guys have been battling. Look at Haas, the run off 4 on the outside, pulls the 10 down the straight, but can't clear him. Now Jericho's looking to go to the outside of the 18.
I mean, clearly, if he sees that Haas is making it work right now, so he might as well try it himself.
And look, there is a line of cars lining up right here. Brandon Beal is here. Lathan Strickland, Jack Carter, Zarka DeLello is here. This is a mess of cars. Look, it's not really working for Jericho. Lawrence is trying to get by him here.
Now, what we got to be careful is if there's a stack up, don't get into the guy in front of you there, because that could bring out a caution and ruin some people's races. But so far, they're doing a nice job, and they're still side by side.
They are still side by side. Haas can't clear Gary. Gary can't clear Haas. They're side by side behind them. Nolan Lawrence trying to get to 11th place, getting by Chris Jericho, and will clear him. Now Jericho under fire in 12th. Nathan Stapleton. Lathan Strickland is coming as well. Hernandez lost about a second of his lead. Trey Keyshawn Richardson close to him because Hernandez is stuck behind lap cars.
That's not going to be very good for him. Finally, he's going to get to the inside of that 28 there. Maybe.
Riley
he does.
tough with 4 laps to go. Hernandez trying to just negotiate this traffic to get by and get to victory lane for the first time ever. Behind them, there was a battle for 3rd, tightening up. Jay Rando trying to get that 48 back inside the top 3. Matthews Wells has it. The 20 trying to hold on. Behind them, Zidell gets by Conrad Evans. Matthew Burnett trying to get by Conrad Evans as well with 3 laps to go. So Zidell to 5th. Burnett for 6th on Evans. Richardson not closing back in on the 1, coming back to 2 to go. This battle back here, Haas clears Gary, who is trying to say have Nolan Lawrence for 10th, and here's the battle behind them. Jericho, Stapleton, and Strickland, and DeLello, and all these drivers race hard. Jericho clears it, 2 laps to go for the leaders. Here's the battle for 10th. Gary and Lawrence going at it.
I'm surprised Haas made that topside work.
He cleared him, and here's battle for 6th. Burnett trying to clear Conrad Evans, and has the nose down the back, and has the lane to run on the bottom. Burnett is going to 6th by Evans. The white flag is out for Anthony Hernandez. One last lap, 3/4 of a mile, and he'll be the 3rd DEI driver to win this season, and it'll be his first ever win. Down the back straightaway, DEI won a few weeks ago with Eli Bright. They won last week with Lathan Strickland, and now through 3 and 4, all 3 are in victory lane. Anthony Hernandez gets his first ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series victory at Richmond.
This team's flipped the switch, Joe.
Yes, they have.
They
what
flipped
a
the switch.
performance from that whole team.
Wow, that is insane.
Gary held on
I
to
don't
10th
know.
there at the checkered flag.
I don't know what they did, but all 3 of them, the 1, the 8, the 15, are all clicking on all cylinders right now. Even if the other 2 didn't finish the best, I mean, just as a whole, they're amazing.
And we had mentioned entering this race, the past 6 races for Anthony Hernandez, 6th, 5th, 6th, 6th, 5th, 3rd. Well, Trey, another top 6 because he won it.
That's one hell of a record so far. I'm curious to see how long he can keep this up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to maybe pencil in him in as a championship contender here.
Oh, Joe, that happened after the 3rd consecutive top 6th. I mean, the consistency, Joe, that's what we talk about. Consistency is key to championships.
That is true. We've seen it the past 2 seasons, and we might see it again this season. But Anthony Hernandez gets his first ever Winston Cup Series victory as he gets it done here at the Richmond International Raceway. Keyshawn Richardson ends up in 2nd. While it's not the win he was looking for, still a very good points night. He'll leave as the points leader with a pretty good points margin because Evans fell at the end and Kukulon had a dismal night in the number 29. Mathis Wells, very solid night, holds on for 3rd at the end. Jay Randall comes back from pole, fell back, gets back up to 4th, and his teammate Justin Seidel puts 200 cars inside the top 5. Definitely best that organization has looked so far this season. Matthew Burnett ends up in 6th, though a good rebound after his bad day at Talladega. Conrad Evans faltered on the long run. He falls to 7th. Mitchell Collins, a really good day for Penske Racing, in 8th. 9th place for Jack Haas. What a drive for that Jasper team. They needed the points desperately to stay inside the top 35 in points. They'll definitely extend that gap over the top 35. And 10th place to Tim Gary. Good day for MB2 in that regard. You have Nolan Lawrence just outside the top 10 and 11th. Chris Jericho from the back, 42nd to get 12th, so not a bad night at all. Lathan Strickland top 15, along with Zachary DeLello and Nathan Stapleton. Jack Carter a decent day. Brandon Bula top 20. Eli Bright 18th. All that damage, I'm sure he'll definitely take it, but might have some choice words for that driver, the number 31, Conrad Evans, after this one. And then Baby Rose and Roberto Crown Jr. also get top 20s. Keegan Thompson didn't have the car he needed here tonight. He gets 21st. Remember, he won both Richmond races here in 2000. Jacob Miller, Colin Teague had good runs. Remember, Teague was spun around in one of the yellow flags. Hunter Reed is there. You have Nathan Ormond. He was running well. He kind of fell back along with Laura Chung. Simonowski moved up nicely from his penalty at the start of the race. Jordan Stout got 28th in the number 6. And then we look down here, and a lot of cars one lap down, including Riley Spirit, who came in 5th in the points. Justin Atkins came in 4th in the points. Josh Kukulon came in as the points leader. So a lot of the big names in points faltered today. It's looking like it should be Keyshawn Richardson, Conrad Evans, 1, 2 in points. We'll have to see how it all shakes out after that. Cars and multiple laps down, like the number 88 of Luke Gray. Noah Clifton's team finally took his car to the garage, and Jose Mills finished 28 laps down with whatever they were doing, the number 7 car. He finishes in last tonight at Richmond. And as we look on from Richmond at the point standings, Keyshawn Richardson back into the position at the top of the points with a pretty decent points margin over Conrad Evans and Kukulon and the rest of the field. So Trey, now Roush is on top in points after the 12th race.
Hey, Joe, this season so far has been, honestly, I'd argue it's been just about as action-worthy as last season's.
With a bunch less yellows, too, if you've noticed.
Yeah, this race had easily the most yellows we've had all season long, and I think it made up for it. The ones where we didn't.
Yeah, it had 4 yellows here tonight, and they all came in the first half of the race. Once we got that long green flag run, they had never had a yellow flag after that one. But we're looking forward to next race because we talk about how these short tracks are crazy. Well, these 1.5 mile ovals, they can sometimes be just as crazy. We're going racing at the very fast Texas Motor Speedway for the Samsung Radio Shack 500. Trey, last season that race was very chaotic. We saw crashes on pit road, we saw big crashes on the racetrack, and we saw a close finish at the end. Will we see something like that once again as we go to Texas?
We'd have to expect it, right?
Yeah, I think we would. Texas is always one of those. We always have a quick yellow at Texas as per the stats, and we always have some pretty close racing as well, so we'll see who can get it done. Remember, Anthony Hernandez is a native of Texas. Could he possibly go to victory lane for the second straight week at his home track? We're going to find out next time on JRTV. Congratulations to that number 1 team on winning their first ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series race. For Trey Bardo, I'm Drew Mikowski. So long from Richmond, and see you guys next week on JRTV for the Samsung Radio Shack 500 at the Texas Motor Speedway.